right. Welcome to another episode of the Building Legacies podcast. I'm really excited about this one. We have Nick and Anthony Spallone here with us today. Nick and Anthony I've known for maybe almost 10 years now at this point. Really got us as New Path into the car wash game. And, I think some of the things we've learned from these guys and the partnership we've built over the year, you guys are going to really enjoy. One of the things that's been happening a lot is people come up to me and say, I see you guys are doing all these car washes. How do I get into it? How do I start building car washes? And so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to bring you guys in. We'll talk a little bit about car washes. I also have Justin Byer here today as well from the New Path team. Very pivotal part of how we all met back in the day. We were actually just talking about it before we went live here, how you almost broke Nick's rib. But I'm looking forward to talking about that. So let's first, before we get started, give us a little overview on you guys, what you guys do, and then the companies that you guys are a part of.
So Anthony and I started the car wash business probably 32 years ago out of our garage. And after building up a large clientele, the town came in and said, you can't operate a business out of your garage. So we immediately went on the search to try to find a location that would allow us to wash cars and detail them. And that's when Boardwalk came alive, right?
That's when it started. Yeah, we opened up our small place in Park Ridge and a small gas station, and an oil change place that the guy rented us a spot for $950 a month. And we're like, how the heck are we going to be able to afford $950 a month? He goes, don't worry, we'll figure it out. Let's just go. I said, but we have no employees. Like, yeah, you and me, we're going to do this whole thing. And that's how it started. It was just me and him. I did interior detailing. He did outside detailing.
How old were you guys?
I was 21. I was 21 years old and he was 23.
Yeah.
Wow.
And by the way, he called me when I was in college, and he goes, hey, we're going to go into detailing and I want you as my partner. And I said, but I'm into school. I got one more year left of college. He goes, get out of here. You know what we're going to be making? I said, I'm going to be making like $35,000 a year when I get out of college. He goes, $35,000? We're going to triple that the first year. I said, okay, I'm in. So I left college a year early, and that's literally how it started like that. And this school loan I still had to pay. I just paid the whole school loan off, even though I didn't finish.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So you guys started doing that, but then that turned into the Boardwalk itself, right?
Right.
Which that was a huge site that you guys had in Des Plaines, right?
No, so we started out in a oil change that we retroed.
Right, okay.
And then we turned it into a hand wash that had detailing. The city ended up pulling in eminent domain along with us and Dick Portillo. He had the Brown's Chicken. That was one of his brands. His daughter owned Brown's Chicken. And the city ended up pulling in eminent domain on us, where we had to get rid of our building and the Brown's Chicken. And we took the proceeds and built the big one in Des Plaines.
They didn't have a domain because they were doing a train station downtown Park Ridge. So they need that's the only way that they can do eminent domain is if it betters the community. So they gave us I think we had 1 year notice. And within 1 year, we put together funds enough in order to build the big one that we did in Des Plaines off of Rain Road. That was our first big construction from ground up.
But that wasn't express, right? That was full service.
It was called a California style car wash. It had automatic equipment, and a conveyor, it had arches.
It's like 110 feet, was it?
100 feet on the dot.
100 feet.
But you'd still wash it by hand.
Wow.
So not many arches.
Apply soap by machine. It would have a conveyor. The car would roll. So the staff,
the guys are
the way the old wash worked, it was at their pace. We set the pace by the speed of the conveyor. So the car would be loaded on. There would be an arch that would apply soap and water. Then these guys had to quickly wash it as it was moving. And then it would get shot through a rinse arch, a blower arch, and then they would take it outside and dry it.
And he was in charge of dialing it. So who do you think was in the tunnel getting the cars through while he's like, we can get more done? And it and we're like,
just flying through the tunnel. Yeah,
that was my payback, because when I was at a chiropractor appointment once, they had me hooked up to a bunch of electrical strobes. Like, what's this dial? What's this dial?
So you wanted to pay him back a little bit.
Of course. So when he was out there washing cars, it looked like somebody sped up the video.
That's hilarious. So fast forward, I'm going to jump really far forward into the story, because I think the story is really cool of what you guys are building. But we just finished construction on correct me if I'm wrong, because I see some of the things, and I've talked to some people about this. This is the largest car wash in Illinois, right?
It is the largest touchless wash on the globe.
On the globe. Okay.
On the globe.
So we just finished construction on that. So you guys start with this full, hand wash kind of, really detailed garage kind of deal. Now we just built the largest
Indoor
outdoor car wash on the globe in Schiller Park called Mango, right? You have several locations, Mango locations now. It's kind of a crazy story. And there's a lot. We've been lucky enough to be a part of your kind of transition, even from the boardwalk and Des Plaines to the express model that is kind of, sweeping the country now. But tell us a little bit about the Schiller Park project, just size, scale, some of the attention that thing
is. It's a 44,000 square foot indoor-outdoor facility. We do indoor vacuuming, climate controlled. It's a 220-foot tunnel on a belt conveyor. It offers touchless options, which is something that's very unique as well. We're not able to produce a large volume because of I'm very meticulous about quality. And, we've got clients of ours, I won't name them on this because I'm sure they'll be watching, that on a busy day like 2 days ago where we had that dust storm, they cranked that belt up to a point where it just starts shooting cars out, right? The problem is you jeopardize quality. So although we can produce 200, 300 cars an hour, 240 an hour, we have it set at just over 100. So the cars are always coming out clean. They're always coming out dry.
Reviews are incredible. I've seen the reviews.
The reviews are great. We have a big problem with the rideshare people.
Yeah.
Because we're so close to the airport. We've got a rideshare problem.
I mean, just staying too long, in the garage when it's really busy and just like tying up spots. And like for the normal customers that have memberships, we have so we kind of police that where we're just asking them to like in a busy days, just do 15 minutes, which is more than enough time to vacuum and do your windows. We don't care if they stay longer when it's dead. Well, we have people that will stay an hour, maybe even longer than an hour. When it's never really slow. It's slow before 10 a.m.
Well, people fly in to see this site. I've noticed that, and I get calls from people, hey, when I come in, I want to see, the site that you guys did in Schiller Park. It's really something to see, even if you're not into washing car, if you never want to wash a car, because, you have indoor vacuums, your corporate headquarters is there, which is a big deal. Beautiful office, car showroom there, which I think is awesome for any car lover out there. And then a great wash, which is all kind of the best part. And then Viral Anthony walks around there as well, which I think is another big part.
One of the unique pieces of this spot is it also contains our consulting side. So we're, of course, we're developers, which works in tandem with you. So the wash is really there to show clients the quality of our equipment and stuff. The other thing is, hey, don't be concerned about how big our group can build because this is 50,000 square feet. Right. We also built 13,000 square foot of executive space that can go up against some most high-end hotels. You guys really did knock it out of the park. It's a museum.
Yeah, and I tell people that too is, on the corporate office side, it's good because you being kind of a designer at heart, right? I've been to your homes and, you and your wife, the way you guys design things, I believe there's an eye for that kind of stuff. And so I think this is the first thing that we've built together where people could actually see that.
You're right.
The eye that you have. And even the snacks. We brought Kelly in to your office and she walked out and she's like, holy shit, this place is like, I said, it looks like his Lake Geneva house. It looks identical.
We get granola bars. That's it.
Yeah, right.
Can't get anything else.
If they're on sale, they get
a jewelry bar, I might get a snack.
It's a confectionery.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The problem is what he does is he comes into the office, there's like a nice thing of chips for everybody. He opens 4 or 5 bags, puts them in a bowl, and then just sits at his desk and takes
chip roulette, I call it. It's the best.
Roulette?
And I close my eyes so I don't know what I'm going to get because I can discern everything in the bowl. If I close my eyes and make it harder for me.
That's right. So Schiller Park, getting to Schiller Park was, we kind of jumped from start in the garage, get to a, totally different style car wash. Now building the biggest wash on the globe. That's what I'm just going to keep saying. Yeah. There's asterisks there. I don't want to get sued by anybody, but
we are officially the largest touch-free car wash in the world.
Okay, good.
So we are in the process of Guinness right now, and I didn't know how involved it is, but they go through a very big research thing. They came back. We're in like phase 3 of phase 5.
Wow.
they've researched. They thought there was a Casey's out of I think Texas that built a 250-foot tunnel, and they're like, "Oh no, this is the biggest." And I said, "No, that's the longest." Okay, that's the longest car wash. We are by footprint the largest car wash in the world, and they had to go back again. And there was one built in Europe that was very large. That was about 10,000 square feet less than ours.
Wow.
I said, but you have to put the whole piece together, paint the whole picture. And we are the largest indoor, outdoor, touchless wash in the world. Not even anybody close to it.
Wow.
So we're 2 steps away from having the actual official stamp.
So what happens when you win that kind of thing?
You still pay it. It's the craziest thing. You still have to pay for the ceremony. I think there's a buy-in. I didn't know that. It's not just a record. So once they verify it and they can make it solidified and no one can challenge it, you hold a ceremony, you pay them $50,000, and then it becomes official record forever. Until
Until you build the next one
until somebody
50,000.
beats it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
So we've all the check and balance piece we've passed. It's just now they have to do official walkthrough.
Sure.
They have to measure it. You know, you send them the plans, they verify by plan. They send them the as-built, even ask they know the terms. Send them the as-built, but they now physically have to go there and they have to probe it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy too, because I remember when I met you guys years ago, just calling on you, and you were telling me how you build, your own, and you guys had met prior, on an investor side. It's crazy to see how everything's transpired to today when you guys are doing those first initial couple sites. And I was like, let me do West Chicago. And, you're like, no, it's already spoken for. And I'm like, come on. And you're like, it's done, dude. There's nothing to do, and Bartlett was our first one, obviously. And it's just, you feel like the time goes fast, but then when you're sitting here and we're talking about it today, time just flies, man. It's crazy to see where you guys have come. You know what I mean? As a client of ours, you guys have become family to me. You know what I mean? I know he feels the same way, but it's just, and even our business, the way we've grown and stuff like that. It's fun. It's just really cool to see. It's just been so.
Well, you know how you sold me?
Why? What?
Because he cold calls me.
Oh, he did.
He did.
Oh,
yeah.
And I was like, my finger's already on the hang up. Right? So because I saw the pitch coming. And
it was a sales pitch when he called.
I literally got waterboarded through the phone. So at one point he goes, well, let me ask you this. Fine. You do general construction. You don't need us to build. He goes, how many of these are you going to do a year? You're on your own. I said, I'll be doing 4. He goes, how would you like to do twice that, 3 times that, 4 times that, and not do anything? Let us do all the work. And I sat there and I thought to myself, wait a second. That makes a lot of sense.
That's right.
So yeah, he sold me on it. So we went from building, 4 to, sometimes we have 12 going in.
Yes.
That's crazy.
But I think the thing that's cool is when we met, when we talked, you have that that knack of and people have told me this too about myself, which is not, but you just have that relatability where it's just you know what, you can tell you're a good guy, you come from good cut, just. And I think when you and I even talked, I'm like, something's going to go on here. And then when we met, I think for our first, maybe even second meeting we ever had where we were diving into the plans and we were really doing, because you did a good job of vetting it, right? I mean, because you guys had built.
Oh, no, it was squeaky.
It was squeaky. And you had gone through that process of really saying all right, listen, I do this. How can you,
how are you going to talk me out of taking me out of my work?
Correct. Right.
This is what I do. You're telling me you want to take over what I do.
Exactly. And then when
talk me out of it.
And then after that second meeting, when you left and I broke your rib, it was we sat down.
But you got to tell that story a little.
Yeah, I will. But when you left that day, and I remember sitting with Adam and Oscar, Adam's dad, who used to do a lot of work with us, and we sat there, we looked at each other, and we're like, this is going to be big. And I remember Oscar even said, he goes, this is going to be something. I don't know what it's going to be, but he goes, this is a good group, and this is going to be big. And we did. We sat there and we're like, this is a big pivotal moment in our business that is going to get us into doing more.
I remember where we all started.
I know.
I mean, you guys had that small little office and
in Roselle.
Right?
The first one, yeah.
It was Roselle.
That's where the rib
house.
broke.
Yeah.
And where I was working out of my house.
Yeah.
And now I went from that to what you guys built me, and you guys are in this big, beautiful, multi-story.
Yeah. Down in St. Charles.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I always talk about how, that first meeting is the most important one because you really get to know somebody, but you see I would say you see their best really in that first meeting because you don't really, there's no problems, there's no money being exchanged. You kind of see that thing. And, when you came over that day, You were checking out our office. You and I had met because I was trying to buy a car wash at that time. And at the time, you had an agreement, right, with all the clients where you couldn't own washes, I think, at that time. But you told me, you said, hey, what if you build all these, you can't own washes, as part of the deal. Right. So we kind of agreed to that and went on a run building these things. But that first meeting, I think, was the best. I just want you guys to share a little bit. We talked about it before.
So it wasn't on purpose. What happened was...
Well, back up.
All right, go ahead.
So my first interaction with you was we were all sitting in the boardroom and your sister made a mistake on something. And you close the door, your mom comes in and she has checks for you to sign. On the table, you sign like 5 or 6 checks. We're in the middle of a conversation. And then your sister does something and you leave the office, but the door cracked open a little. Listen, I want to show you how good my memory is. It was this day.
I don't even remember this.
And she made some mistake with something, and you were paying for some vacation for her, and you told her that if you don't fix it, you will not go on that vacation. Do you remember
Sounds
this?
like Adam.
No,
was there some vacation?
No, I don't remember this.
But that just goes to show me that it doesn't matter. That stood out a lot for me because family, it wasn't a line where, hey, listen, this is my family. She screwed up. It's okay.
Right.
You went out there and drew the line in the sand and you said, you better fix this. Because if you don't, that vacation that I have you paid for, I'm taking the vacation back. And I thought to myself, all right. So if he's willing to do that, and keep in mind, I had family coming all. Your dad is in there, your mom flew in. Yeah. All these people are coming in and out of the office. They're all family. Yep. I thought to myself, okay, well, if this is a family operation and things don't go sideways, these guys will join it. There'll be a union. Yeah, and they'll sit there and they'll say it's your fault, not our fault. But you did really and then it drew into what you. Then I think we did our first. We were ready to sign our first deal, and the champagne came out.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That was always on ice. The champagne was always on ice, waiting for that moment.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But Justin comes in, and it looked like he had a size 8 shoe.
Oh my God! It was like this.
First of all, I just learned.
And I was like, how do you tie a tie like that?
I just learned at the time how to tie a double Windsor, which if you are an astute dresser like myself, it's a very nice knot. My issue was
he had a gray V-neck sweater on.
Yeah.
So the tie was sticking out of the sweater.
He was trying to look like a history professor.
It was a double Windsor that I made a quad Windsor. It's just named the knot after me.
No,
it looked like my fist. And I thought, so wait, I'm in my bathroom in the morning and I have the dress shirt on, the tie, no sweater yet. And I look down and I go, shit. I got the tie's up to my navel. I said, it'll be fine. I said, I'm going to put the sweater on all day. It's no problem. He goes, I'm a good dresser. How do you get a knot like that? And I had a neck because I used to be in shape. And he says, how the hell do you get a knot like that? I said, it's a double Windsor. He goes, that looks way more than a double. I go, I don't know. I said, well, I had this problem, and I pulled the sweater up.
The tie was right here.
The tie was under here.
Wow. He looked like he was a circus
cracked the rib.
I
put the thing down. I go, shit, maybe this is not good. And then
I laughed so hard that I got into this cough I could not lose, and then you heard. And then I went like this, and that was it. I lost.
He was getting into his car to drive away. And he gets in and he's like, I can't drive. I have to go to the hospital. And I looked at him. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? We just signed the deal.
By the way, we're 3-4 years into the business. Meet this developer who, at the time we're talking about $40-50 million of development exclusively to work with at the time, right? And then
he kills him.
He walks out. And then on top of that, I come outside the door and I go, hey, I do it again. He goes,
oh my God. No, I'm trying to get in it.
Yes.
Amy's with her foot in her hand trying to shove me into the truck.
Yes.
And then you have one last one for me before I left.
One little piece.
The door closed. He goes, all right, Nick, see you. All right, thanks, man. We'll talk. He goes, what the fuck did you do? I go, I hope he's all right. I said, I don't know. I think this is serious.
So then he calls me at maybe a week later. He goes, all right, I got news for you. I did go to the hospital and I have a broken rib because of your fucking guy over there. And he goes, I want to work with you guys still, but I can't see him for a little bit
especially not the tie.
Yeah.
I needed to heal.
Yeah. Don't bring him around.
He laughed right away.
It would rip back up.
He did. He goes, I can't see him for a while.
But he always continues to make you laugh. Though.
No. He's
definitely.
It wouldn't be. I'm telling you that I was drawn to the entire team, right? And I'm drawn to even the new team. Like Kelly and I are now BFFs, Fiber Text buddies. Now.
Right, yep.
She's my pen pal. But it's the whole team. So anytime there was a project, and I know at one point Justin thought he had bigger and better things to go to, and he uplifted and left New Path for a while.
Oh, we're actually going into that?
Yeah.
And yeah, why not? And
We call him the boomerang.
and I knew I had another. I knew I had another big set of projects coming up, and I was like, "Listen, we gotta have Justin. I don't care what he's making somewhere else. We gotta offer him to come back.
Yep.
Just whatever it is, double it, triple it,
Yep.
get him back.
Yep.
And now here he is,
Yeah, there he is.
making jokes,
Here
wearing
I am.
glasses.
Yeah. I moved into more of a comic role, but yeah, it's been going good. I've enjoyed it. Not really.
No, there's a little
Kelly says there's no
competition going
real
on
work.
between
I
you
know.
two.
Yeah.
There's a little
I mean,
bit
you
of
missed the mark.
internal
You
battle
missed the
between you guys.
opportunity that we had.
I'm going to tell you something.
I'm just saying.
My dog went viral too when he died. My dog got 1.7 million views.
Are you serious?
I never really
Are
liked.
you serious?
Man, my wife
You
was
got
gonna-
2.
2.2.
I got to look. I think he got like 1.7 million views. I go, what are you doing? Who are these guys that are messaging you? She's like, they're dog lovers. I go, something's going on here. 1.7 for a dog. I said, what the hell's going on? I couldn't believe it. I said, what about me? Put me on the thing. I want to put some stuff on. They don't want to see you. What are you talking about?
So let's get on to that. We talked a little bit about this, but this viral video I think is hilarious. So Anthony, you remind me a lot of Justin, and he's very jealous of you. I'm going to be honest. He's very.
I hear this. Hey, listen, all joking aside, I will say this. I guarantee without us ever having conversation, because I know that I've said to you, Justin's out there putting out fucking great videos. You need to put out some great videos. And I know behind the house, you're probably telling him, get out there.
Anthony's
and
doing
put
the
out-
video.
I show him Anthony's video, and
Let's
I say,
back up
"Look
here.
at this.
That's
Look
not
at
actually
this."
true. I think it was more I was doing videos, and all of a sudden Justin's videos started coming out. I saw them coming out. Let's be honest.
All I know is I don't have a signature. You have a nice signature.
What's my? Oh, that
The head tilt.
I don't really do this.
I mean, I've seen some signatures in my day. I got to come up with one. I don't have one.
You got to come up with something.
I know because
The cartwheel.
I can't. I'm too fat. I'm not.
I bet you could do it.
I could. Yeah.
I
if
bet
this
you
room was bigger, I would do it on the podcast right now.
Just do like the sale from Practical Jokes videos like this. So do something.
I know.
Along those
Something.
lines. Something.
I would
like,
if I had more confidence in it. I'd do the headstand in here, but no one wants to see that.
No.
Believe me, the
don't think
camera
that'd be
camera adds 10 pounds.
So let's talk about this video for a second. You guys, we just built this mega wash that we've been talking about. You start dropping these videos that are hilarious. You're putting these videos all over Instagram, TikTok, whatever. And
which
then
I was new to, by the way. Like Instagram, if you really look at my Instagram, like I just started Instagram.
you just started playing with it, right?
Yeah, I was only on Facebook, and everyone's like, you want to go on like Instagram, like you'll get more. I'm like, what do you mean more? What followers? I'm like, I don't care. It's for me.
Yeah, right.
It's literally for me.
You're having fun.
And Nick, and keeping him happy because when he does
him
laugh.
happy.
When he laughs, it's very good for everybody.
Yeah,
So I was doing it.
I
for
feel the
him
same
too.
way about Adam. Believe me. Sometimes at the office, somebody comes up to me, they go, hey, he's not in the mood today.
Oh, and you.
I go, I don't want to go up there. You got to go up there. I go,
Oh, see,
what am I going to do? And I go up there, and he goes, yeah. He goes, we have a stupid inside joke. We call each other John Boy. He goes, yes, John. I go, what's going on? He goes, who told you to come up here? What's wrong? What's the problem? I go, come on, let's go for lunch. We're not going for lunch. I got to do this. I got to do that. 10 minutes later, he's like, we're in there for an hour. He goes, and then I come down. Kelly's like, what have you been doing up there? I go, you told me to go up there. What do you want from me? Sorry, Kelly. I ousted you.
So with that being said, I want to show this video first. One of you guys put this video up there? Yeah. Okay. So this is the video that went viral. How many? Can you guys get sound on this thing?
Let's
Let's get some sound going here.
We should watch.
This video went viral before. Let me preface this a little bit. This is when it was going to be -40 in Chicago, right?
So it was negative. For the following day was going to be -15, but it was
All the car
negative
washes.
35 degrees with the wind chill.
Yeah,
Yep.
all the car washes closed. We're the only ones that stayed open.
Everyone was closing.
Now, in the
everybody-
background, before you watch this, we went up to everybody that was working because I know there's going to be another round
Oh
of
my gosh.
blasts.
Yep.
Okay, we went up to everyone that was working and said, hey, listen, if you guys pull tomorrow, we'll give you all $100 cash. And anybody that wants to pull, everyone agreed to work.
Wow.
So
Good.
it wasn't like a forced scenario. We said we can either close or we can open. Everyone gets an extra $100 in cash, and everyone said yes.
And you did this as a joke, but obviously the online, I love the online commentary. He's got a couple of them he wants to repeat today because some of these things, we were watching them and we're thinking, who actually thinks this stuff is real?
I know.
here?
There's a
Which-
camera crew following
There's a
you
camera
around,
crew
and,
following
and
you
like the labor unions aren't going to be watching this as evidence. Like, here's your evidence. You actually went up to them
Right.
with this video.
So let's
yeah,
play.
it's
Let's
crazy.
play this thing.
Hey, tomorrow's gonna be a -11. Do you wanna work tomorrow or do you wanna forfeit your check next week?
I'll work tomorrow.
Good idea. Tomorrow's gonna be -11 tomorrow. Do you wanna work tomorrow or do you wanna be out of a job?
I'll come in tomorrow.
Smart idea. Here's some gloves. I know some gloves. Hey, tomorrow's gonna be 11 degrees tomorrow. Can you work for me tomorrow or do you want me to give your GM position to somebody else?
I'll come in tomorrow.
Good idea. Hey, tomorrow's gonna be -11. Can you come in tomorrow and work on your day off or do you want a permanent non-paid vacation?
I'll come in to work. I'll come in to work.
Can you pull the comments up on this thing?
I mean, the comments were, holy moly.
pretty brutal.
My thing is,
So wait, first, how many views did this get?
So between TikTok and Instagram, it's like 2.2 million.
wow.
2.2 million
Yeah,
views.
and when it first went up, and like I saw like 30,000 views within like a couple hours, I told everybody.
Alan,
I said,
get in here.
I swear to you, that same day, I said we're gonna hit 1 million. I felt, and once he saw it, he was like reposting, posting. I'm like, oh yeah, this is good because Nick's all about. He doesn't like something. If you do a video, he doesn't want it like pre-rehearsed.
Yeah.
He's like, just do it on the fly. Like do it like an MTV Cribs type of thing. Like this is my house, and like whatever happens.
Yeah,
And
right.
this is the first video that actually. Over the last year, as I'm doing my videos, this is the first one that he's like, "Oh yeah, this is going to be really good."
Everybody wants authenticity.
Yeah.
No matter what you do in the world today, social media, business, personal, just be who you are. Just be who you are. Have fun with it. So you walk around, your camera's a little dirty, but who gives a shit? You know what I mean? It's just be authentic and have fun with it.
Well, it
you know?
must have been so authentic looking. There were something near 5,000 comments. What was the number of comments? It was like some ridiculous amount of comments.
Someone can tell us. I don't know if one of you guys
Yeah.
has it up.
I know.
Just I want to see how many comments there, because there were so many. We were dying laughing at some of these comments. But every time somebody would comment, it would reshare the video.
I know.
Somebody else would come in. So tell us.
And some of the people were brutal, by the way.
They
Oh,
said
real
that
bad.
The one guy goes, "What in the Kansas City homo is this guy wearing?" I said, "What are they doing to this poor guy? He's my friend." I said, "What's the problem?"
had
And then the
peop-
other guy's like, somebody should sue this guy." I'm like, who takes social media this seriously?
You have no idea. I would
mean,
say
come
95% of the comments were malicious. And then there's 5% saying, you guys do know this was a joke.
Right.
Like 5%.
Well, I
But
will tell you so I reposted it obviously on my platforms too and our page for Mango. And all of the people that came to us who know Anthony laughed at it.
Right.
It was the people that didn't. They're just trying to like defend the cold workers.
Right.
People that were at home collecting workers' comp or something like that. And they're pissed because they might have to go back to work one day.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was the impact of the video? Like what
There
did you
were
guys see any
the
impact
amount
from
of
it?
people that came just to see the hype of the business, meet him. He's been asked for autographs.
That is
the craziest
hilarious.
They're not asked for autograph, but they do come in and they said, I came all the way over here, drove 30 miles just to see what this hype is about this place. And the video was really funny. As far as when the customer started coming in with this, never in a million years I ever think like it was going to, first of all, be as big as it was. It was supposed to be funny. But where I saw where it went weird is when people started saying to me, now on Instagram, if they get really violent, Instagram will actually hide their messages online.
Right.
You can still see
Oh,
it.
really?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
you could see it, but
I could see it. They
Because we were
can't.
joking, but some of the stuff that I was reading, I was like, Jesus Christ. I'm like,
That was
this is-
bad.
No, it was
like-
bad. They
it was
said
a lot.
you say that to me, and I'm gonna come over there and run you over with my car,
Right.
Like stuff like that
Oh,
stuff.
my
And I'm like, and then I started responding to these people, and like little by little, I was responding. I'm like, this was a joke. And then when they started coming in thousands, I'm like, I can't. There's no way anymore. And everyone that was talking to me, like, Anthony, just leave it alone. It's like you're gonna be debating people all day long.
So I went in and I made every person as I could sound like they were.
in the beginning, yeah.
Well, that's the crazy thing is you do this video, and I've said this forever. I mean, and I've read this too. Like a lot of people believe whatever company you are, whatever you do, you guys build car washes, develop car washes, now operate car washes. But everybody says you should be a media company and then secondarily
I totally
do whatever
agree
it is
with
you're doing, right?
Yep.
We've kind of adopted the same. That's why we're sitting here today, right? We've kind of adopted the same thing. We build things and we design things, but really like we're trying to be a media company and then do those things kind of secondarily. But the idea that, you guys get millions of views on something like that. And then, people know about it. So I guess my big question is, are there other plans now? Like, are there things, given the kind of feedback, views, and even the impact to your business of every time I go there, there's a line around the block. I think they're talking about putting streetlights in now, right? For you guys. So you look at that kind of stuff and you're like, all right, so what's next then after all that with the media side?
Well, I mean, luckily, this is probably the only thing that Nick doesn't police, believe it or not. Nick polices every part of this business. Like, he has a say so. This is the only thing he lets me go rogue on, because it's just, I think every once in a while it cracks him up, even though he says this is garbage. It ends up cracking him up for a little bit. And I think the next video that's going to be coming out, the next one
Will be stupid.
Is going to be. He said it's going to be stupid. We did one today that I really, really think is going to be a good one.
Well, I hope it is.
When does it drop?
I hope it is.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. So
When
this
does
will
this
be
drop?
out. This will. I don't even know. This will be out when.
Yeah, after.
Yeah. So okay. So media. I mean, will continue with you guys.
Yeah, and like, some people told me don't do as much, because I used to do a lot of videos. They're like, space them out, because you'll start getting more of a crowd if you start not doing as many posts. So, and it's not like I wasn't doing posts because to space it out. I wasn't doing posts because I was just really busy working. Yeah, right. So I didn't even have the time, but it did work, because when that one went, there was like maybe a month of like no videos from me. And people were like, what's going on with your videos? What's wrong with Anthony? What's going on with this video?
That's crazy.
But it does work when you take a little bit of a break.
So the next kind of thing, we talked about the beginning. We've talked about, the current time now. So, building your own washes. And what's crazy is when we started together, it started as, I wanted to invest in a car wash. Then we built a bunch of them. And now the world almost has come full circle, because now we're invested together in North Carolina on a wash.
Yep.
So I finally get to go along for the ride with you guys on one of these things, which I'm really excited about.
Yep.
But I want to talk about everything in the middle, which is really the core of your business. And, the development, the consulting, the things you do for all of these other people that are building car washes, that are selling car washes or buying car washes. So talk a little bit about that. Talk about the development side. Talk about, Car Wash Pro Design, and just, what do you guys do to help people build these car washes?
We're a turnkey solution. It's the easiest way to say it. It's the non-franchise.
Franchise, non-franchise.
Yes, it's getting everything that you want that a franchise offers, but without having to pay ongoing fees.
Yep.
Yeah.
So somebody can come in, and this happens a lot. You get a million of these, but somebody can come in and say, all right, I have some money stocked away. I want to do a car wash. That's all they have to say, right?
Yes.
To start a process with you
and a
guys.
credit score above 720.
Right. If they pass the initial qualification.
Yeah.
That's what it takes, right? So how many do we have under construction with you guys right now? I mean, a lot of them are just finished, but it's probably.
We probably still have about a half dozen right now.
Yeah.
But we're ramping up again.
Yep.
So they finish, and then we put a bunch more new ones on. We have 54 of them in the pipeline right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and do you think, a lot of people say, is the car wash world too flooded right now? What would you say to those people?
I don't know if I agree with. I think that mediocre floodation is there. People that are coming in trying to save a buck and not doing it the right way. There's a lot of flooding of that type of wash. But if you put yourself into a niche offering, we had a client of ours today that owns a car wash a lot like ours that we first started with. And he has 7 guys working. On Wednesday, when we had that ash cloud thing, we did 1,100 cars. Voda, which is one that we built together, they did close to 1,600 cars.
Wow.
Okay, but they're ones that crank up the speed to the conveyor.
Talk top tier. What does a normal car wash do per hour?
60 to 120.
That's a good site.
Yeah. It's a good
60
site.
to 120 is a good site.
Yeah.
And you're talking about almost 10 times, more than 10 times that.
No, per hour, we're saying it's a good site at 120. They're running full speed.
Got it.
Yeah, full speed ahead for 10 hours.
For 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like in a day, what is would you say like a good site for
on average?
Yeah,
450 to 550 a day.
And you're talking about doing almost triple that.
We're doing close to 1,000 a day every day.
crazy.
Every day.
every day.
Wow.
And what's crazy, I want to bring this up because this is a really big one. When we build these things, I think a lot of people don't necessarily know what we do versus, what you guys do. And everybody's like, oh, your car wash, the attendant was really nice. I'm like, I'll let them know, because a lot of people think we own a lot of these car washes. Mm-hmm. But when you talk about the 2 sites that we just built for you guys, the Mango sites, West Chicago is a footprint that nobody would have put a car wash on.
Well, that's another good point about the saturation piece.
Right.
So you built a microsite that's like a third less than any normal car wash site. The footprint, the size, the entire building type.
Couldn't even put equipment on the site while we were building it.
No.
Because it was so tight that everything is just in time. Everything's like in and out, crazy chaos. But then I get a picture the other day. Everybody's saying site's too small. You guys are crazy for doing this. Then I get a picture the other day of cars down Route 59.
Both directions.
In both directions.
Yeah.
Waiting to get into that site.
Yeah.
Which everybody said could not be a car wash.
Yep.
Which is interesting. Go.
No, that's it.
I would say just interesting because in our business on the building side, we do a lot of gas stations and other asset classes that we build. And the gas car wash space is kind of similar in the sense that a lot of the gas guys that we work with are looking at the same kind of thing you guys are doing with your little case study, right? The microsite, because they're going in and they're buying these dilapidated sites, or they're trying to buy these little out parcels at a grocery store or whatever it might be, because some of the saturation, some of the sites just are not there that makes sense on their own. So to do these little case studies like you're doing with the microsite on the car wash side, that's huge. Changes the game for the car wash.
Well,
side.
it does cost-wise too. If you remember when we first started doing this, we were building mega sites for $5 million.
Right. Yep.
And that same site today is $10, $11 million.
Right.
And it doesn't matter.
Easily.
It doesn't matter whether, a really good point is here we built mine. So one of mine on a microsite, and we're $2.5 million more where we don't have our fees. You're doing me a favor.
Yep.
And I'm not billing my fees out. And still $7.5 million on a site that we built like Squeakies for 5.5 that was 3 acres.
Yep.
Huge building, massive.
Tons of parking.
Tons of
vacuums.
Lots of vacuums.
Yep.
So we figured out together how to take this massive footprint, shrink it down into something small, offer the niche, which is the touchless piece, and then change the game. Yeah. You hear other sites and they say, we really don't get touchless options. How many will come through our wash in a day?
I mean, it's probably every 4 cars, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
See that many.
So-
But you guys said it earlier, though. You guys got the quality. You know what I mean? Because half the time people think touchless. You know what I mean? The first thing is if you're a car guy like me or you think, well, I don't want to scratch my car. If you don't have a nice car, then you think I just want a nice car wash, but I still would do the touchless because maybe I can preserve my car, right? Because
Yep.
a lot of those people keep those cars for a long time. But when you have the quality of the touchless wash the way that you guys do, and you think about the way you guys have it priced out, it's $5 more for the touchless option,
Yep.
right? Yep. And candidly, when you think about that, if you care about that, for $5, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
Because you get all the other benefits that come with it. But again, it goes to the technology, the way you guys are looking at it. And it's when we think about our business, that's part of what I love about this business in the construction space is that you're meeting people who are either innovating, right, as an owner operator like you guys in the business that you are in, or you're working with individuals who are just investing their life savings in some kind of development, to take on a Starbucks development, an Arby's, a car wash, a gas station, whatever it is. And it's what they want to do. So it's so cool to see how these things have come, not only full circle, but the way that we operate on stuff together, right? And then the people who we bring to the table that we service,
Right.
It's a lot of fun. It's really cool,
Right.
Well, I think the other thing that's interesting is a lot of our mutual clients that we work with, it's not the massive corporate people. It's literally, I'd say a lot of husband and wife teams that are coming to us, right? And they're telling us the passion. We go to dinner. You guys kind of get all
become
these people
family.
in, and they
All of
become
them.
family.
Yeah.
And it's funny, Bartlett. We were just talking about Bartlett. I was just talking to Dan yesterday. Just calls. We're just talking 2-hour phone call, talking about family, talking about whatever. And that's the first one we ever did together. So you think about that for a second. And you and I talk about it all the time. It's like, I'm less nervous, I would say, when it's a large corporate. We deal with the biggest, largest corporate clients, right, in the world, not only in the car wash space, but, all over. And, it's business. So you're in, you got your deal, you got to hit your schedules, budgets, boom, 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 right? The individual investors, how often do we start a deal? We're going down the process. Then they say, hey, we want to have dinner with you guys. And they tell us we're really nervous. And you really feel it because you're like, we'll call each other afterwards and say, man, I really hope nothing, goes wrong.
Yeah, you're emotionally invested. Yeah.
Right.
Us.
Right. Yeah, we're bought into it.
Yeah.
We want them to do well. And the beauty of you doing your own now is that it's no longer just like telling people, hey, do this, do that. You can just bring them over and you can say, hey, we're doubling the industry average. We have one of the smallest sites that the industry ever could have.
And the opposite.
And then one of the largest.
Which is awesome.
Which is crazy.
That.
It's amazing.
And I think the indoor-outdoor vacuum washes, there's going to be a lot more of them because of this one.
Right.
By far, because the people, we have customers now that are doing their own video, like full-on videos and advertisements for us that are advertising it, like on the Facebook with a full video saying, I've never seen anything like this. Or just walking through and you have customers just like smiling, giving a thumbs up, like, and stopping me and saying, I've never seen anything like that. This is unbelievable. And to be honest with you, when Nick was thinking about doing this, I don't know, I think it was probably about 5 years ago, about an indoor place. He's like, look for Toys R Us's. We need to do an indoor place. To be honest with you, and this is the only time I didn't feel like I don't really see the indoor part of it being
knowing where
like,
the industry is.
Yeah, just because I was weird, like who's gonna pull into a building, and I didn't think of it like how to look, right? Like I just thought of a garage. And to be honest with you, I was blown away because I thought one row out of the 3 rows that we have in there, I thought one row of the parking in the garage was going to be employee parking, like literally, because I was like, okay, we're going to all have our spots right here. This whole row will be ours. We can't park in the garage. Right. There is no.
Now we have signs up that say 15 minutes.
Yeah. This is.
Well, I came to visit. We were meeting about the car wash show that's coming up, and I come to visit, and there's nowhere to park. Just to come and meet at the office. Yeah. And so I'm like, wow, this is the most amazing thing that I literally had to pull up on one of the embankments there to park, but the garage is full, every parking spot's full. You have a massive team obviously, so there's, you got your employees everywhere. But I think that's great. I think what you guys build and what you're doing there, I think it tells people, because everybody keeps telling us it's saturated. If one of the leading kind of developer consultant groups just decided, you know what, watch this, we're going to build the biggest and maybe the smallest, just to show you guys that it's what you do.
In both saturated markets.
Yeah.
Markets
opening at the same time too. So literally at the same time too.
Here's the craziest part. We talked about Schiller Park before you did it. We're talking about the building. You and I were there. We were touring the building. And you're like, honestly, I don't care if we wash a single car here. If I could just showcase and let my clients see kind of what we do and, walk them through the wash and whatever, it's almost hard to do that because you have so many clients already. And you're not even, the wash isn't even on the main road.
We're 2 months in.
You got to drive.
Half a block.
Correct. Right. You're half a block away from the road.
And you're a block off of River Road that's packed.
Correct. Yeah. So and the traffic counts aren't they're not anything you would ever advise anybody to do.
They say you build it and they will come.
Correct.
And that's exactly what's happening.
And what kind of traffic count do you have on that?
28,000.
And what's your minimum
40,
you would recommend?
I think 40, around
25.
25 is the minimum.
So we're 3,000 over the minimum.
The minimum.
Oh, yeah.
The minimum.
But what do you like to see? What's your A+ site traffic count wise?
If you have a 50,000 traffic vehicle day, you have a gold mine.
So you're half of that.
So that's where we prove that out.
Right.
That if you do it right, you offer it right, people will come.
Yeah.
Even the West Chicago one that you guys just built. Our investors and the people that were involved all made statements like, oh, there's only a one-way in.
Yeah.
You have to pass it going southbound to turn around and come back in. And I go, don't worry about that. Yeah. I thought to myself about what's the Italian ice place that's on Taylor?
Johnny's?
No,
wait.
That small little house in front of the house.
So list all
little hut.
Mario's.
I think it is Mario's.
It's been there forever.
What
Taylor
is part
Street.
up? Yeah.
So you have to go through. This is where they give garbage cans
in a neighborhood.
Gas with fire coming out of them.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like a dangerous spot to go, and you go there for the ice. I would drive 20, 30 miles to go there.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been there.
Yeah, Mario's.
I think it is Mario's.
So
somebody look it up for us.
You're thinking of Dairy Queen.
No, I like Dairy Queen.
Mario's on, it's in
Taylor Street. Yeah.
It's, if you build it right, they'll come. We have a lot of niche things. The great thing is the indoor piece, but then go back to West Chicago where it's not. It's the ones that we build.
Yep.
The small offering of the touchless and doing it right and the customer service right, one-way access, like all the things we would say no to.
Right.
The whole point of building this thing with you guys was to prove that all of the hype and the restrictions mean nothing.
Right.
You can't, 50,000 cars, you got a great site. No, you could have 50,000 cars and end up with what happened on North Avenue and, okay?
Yep.
You could have, 70,000 cars,
Yeah.
right? So it doesn't really matter about, it is location, but if you do build it right and you market,
Right.
you become a marketing firm first.
Yep.
And a lot of what you do too is really important. People kind of get wrapped up into it and they're buying you,
Right.
not the business.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, which as we have continued to grow, I mean, we started doing, 1 or 2 washes. And now, like you just said, we're talking to upwards of 50 different people.
Yeah.
Our teams have grown. Our ability to be involved in every little detail has kind of faded a little bit. But it's that, I think it's training the business and making sure that you're bringing in the right people, right? And
Agreed.
That's a big part of it. Yeah. And you guys have now built a full install team, full chemical team that can do all the chemicals.
Yeah. Maintenance.
Maintenance, is a big one. So I think that's good. I think that as we've continued to grow, it's fun to watch for sure. But I think that to me, the car wash industry still feels like it has a way to go. It still feels like there's a lot of opportunity.
There's a lot of room.
Well, you see that too when we're doing the car wash show coming up together, you know what I mean, in Nashville. And you see when you're looking at who's exhibiting still, who's on the floor, who's out there.
And the thousands of attendees.
Of attendees. And the events
if it
that
was
people
dead, it would
go
be
to.
an echo in there.
Yeah.
100%. And people are listening to all the keynote speeches and they're doing these events and all that. And when we go down there in May, you will see how busy it is because, to your point,
These are all future.
this is what I'm saying, because in our business, both of our businesses, development that you say you want to start today doesn't start for, we all know.
Years.
If you're lucky, 6 months, depending on what you're trying to do. Otherwise, it could be years. You know what I mean? By the time you do the front end, the bank, the city stuff, it could be years.
Yeah.
So today or May, when we go see these folks down there, that 54 pipeline you're talking about that we're talking about today will be 154. You know what I mean? But those other 100 will be 2-3 years down the road. But that's our business. That's how we build our pipeline. And you got to do it as you go to the show.
And keep in mind, you've got these guys that misfired. You've got these people that came in and want to invest, minimal amounts of money. So they're producing a really bad vehicle,
Right.
And they're closing down.
Right.
So now, somebody wants to build the monster on that lot and do it the right way. So you have to get in the game right. You can't spare any expense on construction. You can't spare any expense on operation. You can't spare any expense on equipment. You have to do it right the first time.
Yeah.
So that way you become competition proof.
What's the biggest mistake that you think car wash operators make when they enter the market? Is that it? Just
They fall
kinda-
asleep.
Okay.
They think it's absentee.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember you told me that when we first met.
So it's not, my clients have all been very good successes. I've had 1 or 2 of them that have fallen to the wayside. And when you look at the 2 that have, keep in mind I've been doing this for 35 years. The 2 that have, and you look at them, they had other priorities. There were other big things that they were involved in that was their main focus.
Yeah.
You don't have to be married to the place.
Right.
You just have to show a presence and you have to show like you care.
Right.
Like that's anything that you own.
Right.
If the cat leaves, the mice will play.
Right.
And if the cat's never around, the mice will do whatever they want to do.
Right.
Right.
So you have to, I tell a lot of my clients, you can operate, one of my biggest sales pitches are, you get a lot of these executives in and they say, hey, how much of this time will it take? You can run this business from your yacht in the Virgin Islands, but you have to do it from your yacht in the Virgin Islands. You'll have all the tools you need. You can pull up all the cameras from your phone. You can pull up all the data entries from your phone. You can literally see in real time everything that's happening in your car wash. You can hear it, you can see it. But if you don't ever turn your phone on, doesn't matter where you are on the planet, whether you're there or you're not there, it'll be a problem.
Well, and you talk about the hiring, which you guys help with on all the
Yep.
new clients, right? So you talk about like the GM, having good people. Is that something that you're still dead set on, is just the hiring, the initial hiring process?
So him and I are going to have different opinions in this. The big store has been a big challenge for us because it's something that it's nothing like we've ever experienced. It just
Which the next time around when we build the next one, all of this that we're doing the trial and error on our building, because we're doing the trial and error, the next time around is going to be a lot smoother because there's stuff that we didn't know. We never did an indoor vacuum area. So this is a completely new wash for us. But go ahead.
So I will tell you that it's been a challenge staff-wise. I will tell you that any business owner, they say if you can find one good person out of 10, you're doing a really good job. But you have to hire 10 people and let them, 9 of them be complete washouts. And then you might get one good one. If you can find 1 out of a 10, it's typically 1 out of 50. It's crazy. And those are the ones that stick, right?
Well, we talk about that a lot in our business. I mean, now we have offices in Arizona, Texas, Ohio, here. And we say, all right, every year, if we can just add 2 across the country, 1 to 2 rock star people
In any department.
in any department,
Just 2 good people.
done. That's
Yeah.
all.
I mean, that'd be
That's
huge.
all. And by the way, I mean, there's a lot of good people. Maybe it's 2 great people is what I'm talking about, which is kind of what you're talking about, is somebody that really allows you to go to your yacht in the Virgin Islands and do whatever it is you're doing, but you know that they're there, but you got to pay them. You got to pay them, take care of them, and show them a little bit of upside on that. So, all right, as we kind of get ready to wrap up, I have a couple rapid fire questions, and then I want to talk about just the idea of building legacies and more of the family kind of dynamic, right? So, what's the most underrated feature in the car wash industry that drives revenue?
Underrated feature is the ability to do touchless.
Okay. Which I think
I almost
people
don't
talk
want
about
it. I
touchless.
don't want it to catch on.
Right.
I really don't, because what you're not seeing in this industry, and this is what makes us be able to continue to grow and not be in a saturated market, is a lot of the vehicles that are coming out today, they actually tell you at the manufacturer level or at the sales level, you cannot bring this through a friction wash. And even if the vehicles are okay, like Tesla, if you actually read on Tesla, they tell you do not bring the vehicle through a touchless wash because they're aluminum frame bodies.
Through a touchless wash? Or
Through a friction.
Okay.
They're aluminum bodies, and the paint will actually deteriorate faster because it heats up, because of the aluminum heats up faster. So do not go friction. A lot of people don't listen to that. But the big one is if you get that ceramic seal when you're at the dealership before you take the car away. The salesperson who sold you that for $1,000, $1,500, or $2,000, they tell you, we'll guarantee this thing will look like it's wet for 5 years. Do not bring it through one touchless wash. Well, that's a killer in this business, right?
We're an automatic wash.
A friction. Don't bring it through a friction wash. And that's a killer. If you can't offer the touchless piece, and if I tell you, and the flat paints now, that's another one.
The matte.
You can't
the
bring
matte.
through friction either. The matte
Does
flat.
it peel it?
No, it scuffs it. Okay.
But you can do the matte, because I love that paint color. The paint. You
Yeah.
can do that through a touchless?
Yeah. Of course.
I thought those always had to be hand washed.
No.
That's interesting.
Our
we have a
in-house,
good-
our in-house
yeah.
attorney has
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
BMW he goes through every day.
yeah.
And him and I have different feelings about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
touchless friction too. So we use all foam technology. So it doesn't do any damage. Like I have the ability to do touchless in my business, and I don't do it because the foam is just as good. I bring mine through with foam. He always does touchless on his car.
Because I do it every day. I'm just testing.
I'm doing it every day,
equipment.
too.
So like, it doesn't make a difference for me to go through all that. Just, like,
I got a
few
Rolls Royce
touches.
pulled outside. Let's go take
Yeah.
a look at the paint.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's different.
And
though-
right.
It's different back in the day when they did the automatic washes. They were fabric wraps,
Yeah,
right?
with
So they had
beading,
to
yeah.
power wash them at the end of every night. Like that was all the dirt from the cars were on those. That's what left swirls.
You want
These
to be the first car in the morning, not the last car in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even so, though, I mean, it's still, but if it was power washed
Right.
correctly, but even now with our wraps, you can take a wet wrap and take a bucket of dry dirt, throw it on the wrap, 0 sticks. It's like, for like in a pool, like the rafts, the rafts you have inside a pool, like that rubber, nothing sticks to it. It like literally just falls off of it. So it doesn't, but there's people out there that don't understand that if something's hitting the car, something's damage is going to happen. So there's a stigma. So, and
the
if we haven't
stigma
got
will
past
always
it.
be there.
And
So
that's why we
touchless-
have to have it.
So you guys think touchless? I mean, that's really
That's going to be it.
I'm blown away with the amount of customers that are doing touches. I didn't think it's the most expensive wash, and you think that when going through there, 70% of the stuff is not hit. I mean, well, no, or 50. Well, how many percent? Like the wraps.
We have no
Maybe-
friction, so,
so-
none of that equipment touches.
50% of the wash is nothing's happening to the car because all the different levels of the touchless. And normally when you go through a car wash, you're just so used to everything hitting the car, like you're sitting and you're like do. Nothing's really
Yeah,
happening
like
except for
getting
the
clean here,
sprays
yeah.
and
Right.
like
Yeah.
the
Right.
soap. So it's
Air,
crazy
soap,
to
and water,
see
yeah.
that people are paying that, but there's a process.
Change the ticket value big time.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We're just talking about like the customer experience.
Yeah.
But on the business owner side,
big time.
it's a game changer.
And it becomes, you can now squeeze yourself in next to a wash that's in town that's older,
Right.
that hasn't been run properly, hasn't been maintained properly, and now it's not saturation.
Right.
You're the only one doing it.
Right.
what's the best market for a car wash right now?
All of them.
All of them.
All of them. I mean, think about the one we built in Peru, Illinois.
Right. That is another crazy story.
That's going to be a really good example for all of our clients, because you get people that are, well, we have no population, we have no this. How about a population of 9,000?
Yeah, in the
How about-
wintertime, there's maybe 3.
No, like the whole town
Yeah.
has 9,000
Right. Yeah,
people
yeah.
living in it.
Yeah.
And then it's like 30 miles out to the next town.
Correct.
But, we're all used to having 20 gas stations
Right.
within 3 blocks.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to go to a pizza place? Let's pick 15 of them within 6 blocks.
Right.
Yeah.
You want a hamburger place, a lawyer, you want a law office? There's 50 of them within this office.
This town's one of everything.
It's this. There's literally one Walmart. And by the way, by having the anchor store as a Walmart, people come from 30 miles this way,
They got
30
to.
miles this way. They're travelers. I would never think to go 30 miles for anything.
And then if you're going
I didn't
30
want
miles,
to
you
go
better
30
stop at
miles.
multiple
I didn't want to go 30 miles
Right.
for this place. Okay.
What?
I didn't want to go 30 miles for this place, but I
knew it.
did it. But no one wants to travel anymore. So you had a situation like that where everything's stacked against him. In traffic counts, if you remember,
Oh, yeah, I
we
know.
fought Michael Rice at
Yeah.
Celtic Bank because the appraisers are like, look, this thing's not appraising out.
Yeah.
12,000 vehicles a day on their highway.
Right.
This is their
And
highway.
Charlie's doing among the best of everybody, right?
He's record-breaking numbers.
Wow.
Because all these people are traveling from all of these towns. He's now a destination. It's not a wash of convenience.
But he's there. I mean, he is an operator.
He is there. He is
knows
there
how to run that place.
24/7.
I see his social media.
too.
Yep.
Marketing too. He's got the girls out there, and some of them have hit really huge view volumes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which, by the way, that I think wasn't that a record break. That you got to call your buddies at Guinness and ask about how fast we built that thing.
It was so we had a deal with one of your staff members that was a PM,
Yep.
and we told him together
Yes.
that if he builds it under 5 months, that we would both give him $10,000 apiece. He had a CO in his hand in 4 months and 29 days.
Wow. So
4 months
anyone
and
ever
29
compared to that
days.
ever again after that?
No, they
And
still
this was
built
a-
fast.
this was
built
a-
fast. They took a $50,000 facility,
50,000 square feet.
50,000 square foot facility, and they did it in 8 months.
I know.
Right.
I mean, we're
Sometimes
talking
easier
about
to build it from scratch.
my wife's father went through this building, and when we went for the groundbreaking, he didn't want to say it to me until afterwards. He goes, I thought you should bulldoze this thing.
Right.
Because I didn't see any vision of what this turned out. He goes, I knew for a fact that my wife married a maniac. Didn't know what he was doing.
That's what made him think that?
Yeah, no, seriously.
That was the thing.
Out
Yeah.
of all
I think it
things?
was one. That was
Yeah.
one of the 10,000.
One of the 10
Right.
things. Yeah.
But when it was done, and what you guys warped this building into, should really be a staple. Because
But also, though, you got to remember that to me, we should have filmed that entire thing.
Oh, I kind of did.
Well, okay.
no,
good.
we do have
Your
some.
POV.
But
I did every day.
I'm saying more like that is the picture perfect thing. When we go and we talk to these clients and they say, well, what can we do to make sure that this
visionless
goes quick?
clients.
We tell them, let us just run this thing from beginning to end, because every decision was made like that.
I know.
Every permit approval done
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Every change on the site, because we're so integrated, our
Yeah.
companies are so integrated. Every change on the site, change this. We're going to use this guy for this. Boom, boom. Everything was so.
Well, that's because
fast.
of him.
Well, even
Because he calls everybody.
even as the operators, we have some of our clients that haggle over a $1,500 change order
Correct.
for a month while they're paying interest reserve for $50,000.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, $50,000.
Right.
It just, I'm going to pay it. You guys put the work in and then have the bank reimburse me.
Correct.
Just let's keep it going as quick
Let's
as we
move.
can. Yes. Go, go, go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Early mornings or late nights? What's your, if you know, business owner, you've been building these businesses your entire life. You've never worked for anybody, right?
Well, I mean, I work for my clients.
Right.
I hate
Well,
when
of
people
course,
say that.
of course. But you've built and developed your own businesses. You know, a lot of people that message us or, you know, try and, you know, maybe watch this type of stuff, they want to know, like, give me some tips on business. You know, what would you tell somebody first that wants to get into running their own business?
Think of Beth. You know, she was terrified.
Yeah.
She was into her system. She didn't want to change. Her husband wanted the car wash. And every year at Christmas, she never gives me a present. She never gives me a card. She gives me a call or a text. And she goes, thank you for taking me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So I think that you have to be willing to take a risk. If it's worth it, risk takers are the ones that always end up with the biggest. The ones that get too comfortable and not want to take any risks will always be average.
And they're involved too. I mean, I think they're voted
Both
best
of them,
car wash
yeah,
for the last
5 years.
5 years in
Yeah,
a row.
5 years.
But they're hands on. So I think a lot of people that get in this, they want to build it and then walk away. I think that an owner should be present some way of some sort.
Yeah.
It's just going to run, and they're a staple and a reason why.
I still take clients to them because it still looks like the day you guys built it.
Yeah, it's
Oh, they
brand new.
maintain that facility.
they're OCD
Brand
like
new.
us.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
They're OCD. I mean, that
Brand new.
makes a difference between ours as well. It's because we're there.
Yeah.
Which doesn't surprise me with them. I mean, we talked to them at the dinner, and you know, very very good operation there. So as we wrap up, Building Legacies is kind of the name of the podcast. It's part of our 10-year 10 years in business and our 10-year plan. What does that mean to you guys? The idea of building legacies. You know, I've been with you now for better part of a decade, and one of the things that I think you and I were able to connect on is that we're trying to bring when we were talking about this before this all started, is trying to bring everybody around you up, so that they can enjoy the things that, you're building and you're working for. But when you talk about legacies, I know obviously one of our first experiences going to the car wash show, we went down. You had little Vinny.
This is old. This is
Old Jay.
Old Jay.
Old Jay. Yeah.
Oh,
Old Jay.
Was this new?
By the
for
way,
me?
he drew on lipstick on one of those things with it had the heart.
Did he?
With that-
Oh,
no,
you and I did.
It's
yeah.
still up.
Is it really?
In
Yeah, I
red
wrote
lipstick.
it.
Well, we'll see that in about 2 months then.
Yeah.
But we were there, and we had both just had these kids, and they were babies, and we're talking before, and I'm like, what are we doing with the babies? And you're like, I don't know. You let me know what we're going to do. I can bring a babysitter down there for us. So I said, all right, let's go. So we went, our wives go down, the babies come down, and we stayed at an Airbnb, and the babysitter was with, the
Yep.
babies, and we did our business. We did. And I believe in work-life harmony, the idea of like, it all kind of blends as one
agree.
more than anything. But what does it mean to you? What is building legacies when you're gone? Is Car Wash Pro Design anything? Are your kids taking it over? What's kind of your mindset?
I think I will die in the driver's seat, to be honest. I really want to be out. I do my best to try not to work when I'm off of work, and I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't have to preach to the choir. I'm up at 3 answering emails. On my weekends, I'm in the radio. Unfortunately, I got radios for the business that are like Nextel, so
Yes, I
I hear
saw
everything
this.
that's going on. In fact, they were in the car just before we came. And I don't know. I really think I'm going to die in the driver's seat.
Please don't tell Heather that.
My intention is to.
Heather would not want to. She just want to hear that.
My intention
She's
is
looking for an out.
My intention is to leave it
she needs a
to
break.
hopefully my team.
Give her a break.
Yeah.
We've already had talks that God forbid something happens to me that, she can go in and say, we have 2 options to the group. We either continue this forward, we all walk away and call it a day.
Yep.
I think that she has the strength to continue forward. We have a good team to do it. I think that it would be split between the team, and Anthony would of course be part of that.
Yep.
My son is older. I don't know if he'll want to be involved. No kids ever really want to take over their dad's business. I'd love him to do it, but I don't know. I think I'm going to die in the driver's seat.
I like that.
I really do think that's what's going to happen.
Sorry,
You think about Uncle
Sorry,
Sal.
Heather.
You think about Uncle Sal, right?
Well, yeah.
The guy who worked as a dentist
Yeah.
to even the president, right? So he was. I didn't even know this until after he was telling me, but the president has medical staff in every state, right? That are passed through Secret Service. If they're flown into that state and something happens to them, they have a medical team that's local that can handle it. Well, there's dental teams, there's yada, yada, yada. So he was an authorized dentist for the Bushes at the time. And he retired. He sat in a seat until he was 70, almost 80 years old, sat in a seat, drilling away, doing mouths, loved doing what he was doing. His wife was at his shoulder as his nurse. And he retired, sold the business to his daughter, which is a smart thing because then she took a lot. She thought of the business. Yep.
Yeah.
Sold the business to his daughter. And when he received his last payment, he had some kind of, like a intestinal disease and died like literally the day that he gave her the last check.
Wow.
So
You'll be
Crazy
fine.
story.
Nothing's happened.
I will end up in
Don't
that
worry.
seat until I think I'll end up.
As long as it goes.
My mind is I want to leave it and go and travel and do whatever I want, but I'm happiest when I'm there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stress. I mean, I don't have to tell you about it.
That's why he's gray.
You know, when people, a lot of our staff, think, well, he doesn't have to.
Well, he said
He's an
happy when
owner.
he's there. He's more
an
happy when
owner
he's
too. But a
not
lot of people
there,
think that you
but
don't work for anybody. It's the best thing, but you do. You work for every
everybody, then.
single one of your clients. I get yelled at more from my clients than I would ever get yelled at working at a job.
100%.
It is the craziest thing, and everyone thinks to themselves, "Oh, you work for yourself. You're your own boss. You don't have to work for anyone." No, I work for 50 people who scream. Forget the screaming part of it. Tell you about their personal problems. They tell you, "Oh, I'm stressed out." They tell you, "Oh my God, my
You're kind
husband
of a
should never
therapist.
have done this. Why did my husband ever convince me to do this?" And some of them, which is the flip side. If you think about all of the clients we had, most of them are husband and wives.
Yep.
Sean was the one that took Dan into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was her plan to own a car wash.
They were the
that was the white elephant in all of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in most circumstances, it's the guy that grew up who played with the Matchbox cars and always wanted
Loves
to own a car
cars,
wash.
yeah,
And that was my dream since I was a kid because we were all brainwashed,
Yeah.
right, into doing this when we were a kid. Always needed to own a car wash. And then you have to sit there and be the therapist for the wife all the time. So you act as a therapist, you're a punching bag, you're a this. So, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
I love it.
Oh,
I love it. I think that if that stopped,
Well, I think that
I would have a heart attack.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think momentum's a big deal.
Yep.
And when you're in it, it feels almost, when my dad, everything happened with my dad, I mean, I was really thinking of, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? I had this whole kind of thing. But then I realized that I have no hobbies. I have no skill outside of, what I do in
Your
business.
dad loved it.
And he loved it.
He loved it.
And I loved it, but for different reasons. Like I love the idea of building things. Like I like that idea, the concept. And so now it's more than just building something. It's like the idea of we get to do this. Like we get to sit here, which is crazy to think about. After all these years, we have been, I would say, like the punching bags of Muhammad Ali, of all these nobody's been beat up worse than we have by some of the people that that we've worked with, right?
I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if this is with you or not, but it is nice going out of state and driving by and saying, "We built that.
Totally.
That's ours.
Totally.
We did that."
100%.
You could be. It doesn't matter where you are in the country. You're
You'll
driving
find
something and you're like, "Hey, we did that."
It's the best.
That's a
thing in the
cool
world.
feeling.
And even when the client, when the client's still talking, and we talk about Dan and Sean a lot and Bartlett, they sold.
I know.
I mean, they're done. They're out of the business.
Made a ton of money on that.
And they did. And every day, I mean, I talked to him yesterday. He's like, yeah, one day we'll be back. We'll be back in the game. I miss it. It was awesome.
Wait until he gets that sticker shock.
Right.
This is a $5 million guy.
double
Now
the
it's
deal
like $10
now.
million. He's going to be like, wait, I should never have sold. Yeah.
That's all I have. Did you have anything else?
No, I think, doing this for the first time for our business, as we said at the beginning, it's new for us, and for me to be a part of this episode first was pretty cool because you guys are special to me. You guys have become family to me. So, there's a lot of good stuff to come. So thanks for having me today, and thanks you guys for coming in. And
Well, thanks for having us. We were happy to be here.
Agreed.
Thanks.
This actually helps. Thanks. So
cheers, guys.
So
250 more. Cheers.
That's it.